You might think you're in control of what you buy. But every time you see an ad, your brain is being subtly rewired. Let's break down how advertising actually hacks your brain, using real psychological research. First, let's talk about attention. Ads are designed to hijack your brain's attentional system. One of the most basic tricks is called the von Riestorff effect. This psychological principle states that items that stand out are more likely to be remembered. That's why you'll see ads using odd colors, sounds, or visuals, because your brain is wired to notice what's different. But once they've grabbed your attention, advertisers go deeper. One of the most powerful tools they use is emotional conditioning. According to classical conditioning principles discovered by Ivan Pavlov, if you consistently pair a product with a positive emotion, like happiness, love, or excitement, your brain begins to associate that product with those feelings. That's why Coca-Cola ads often feature smiling families, warm lighting, and upbeat music. Over time, you don't just see a soda, you feel something. A famous study by Gorn in 1982 showed this clearly. Participants were more likely to choose a pen that had been paired with pleasant music over one paired with unpleasant music, even though the pens were identical. It's not the product, it's the emotion that sells. But there's more. Ads often use social proof, a term from social psychology. This is the idea that we look to others to determine correct behavior. So when an ad says, 9 out of 10 dentists recommend, or shows influencers using a product, your brain interprets that as a kind of shortcut. If everyone else likes it, maybe I should too. This principle was demonstrated in Solomon Asch's famous conformity experiments in the 1950s, where people changed their correct answers just to match the group. In marketing, this translates to purchases. People buy what they think others approve of. Now let's talk about scarcity. If you've ever felt tempted by phrases like, only 3 left, or limited time offer, you've experienced scarcity marketing. This taps into a cognitive bias where things seem more valuable when they're harder to get. Psychologist Robert Cialdini covered this in his classic book Influence. He found that people rate items as more desirable when they believe they're scarce, even if the scarcity is artificial. Your brain interprets scarcity as a sign of urgency and importance. So you're more likely to act fast and spend. Another trick? Anchoring. This cognitive bias happens when your brain relies too heavily on the first piece of information it receives. Say you see a shirt originally priced at $150, now marked down to $75. Even if $75 is still too much, your brain compares it to the original price. That $150 anchor makes the discount feel like a great deal, even if it's not. And let's not forget repetition. You might hate ads that show up over and over again. But that's the point. Psychologist Zayans's mere exposure effect shows that repeated exposure to something, even if you don't consciously like it, makes you more likely to feel positively toward it over time. So when you walk into a store, guess which brand feels familiar? The one that showed up in your feed 5 times yesterday. Ads also manipulate your reward system. Neuromarketing studies using fMRI scans show that when people see products they like, or even well-designed packaging, the brain's nucleus accumbens, a key part of the reward system, lights up. That's the same region activated by food, sex, and drugs. Yes, your brain literally craves a good ad. So what can you do about it? Well, just being aware of these psychological tricks is the first step. When you feel that sudden urge to buy something, ask yourself, did I really want this, or did an ad just push the right buttons? Because while advertising can be helpful, it's also a powerful tool for shaping behavior. Your brain is incredibly smart, but it's also incredibly hackable. And advertisers know exactly how to do it.